Welcome to the Utah Data Systems Overview. There are 4 systems to be aware of: OpenClinica, our electronic data capture system; Query Manager, an external query management tool; SharePoint, which is our report portal; and Moodle, which houses the study training modules. Moodle, SharePoint, and Query Manager use the same username and password combination. OpenClinica uses the same username as the others, however, it has a separate password that you set up upon getting OpenClinica access. Regarding browsers, do not use Internet Explorer, or you will encounter odd issues. Firefox and Chrome are the recommended browsers. Once your account has been set up, you will receive a welcome email. Click on the link and you will be taken to the OpenClinica login screen. Enter your username and specific OpenClinica password. If you don't remember your password, click the link and you will be prompted with instructions to reset it. Now that you are logged in, determine which study and site you are currently logged into at the top left corner of any screen. To switch to a different study or site, click the Change Hyperlink next to Need Help. On this screen, you will see a list of study sites to which you currently have access and your role at each site. Select the radio button next to the site you wish to access. Click the Change button at the bottom of the screen. A summary of the status and action icons is on the left margin of many screens. Key ones include the orange Data Entry Started and green check mark for completed. Also, the magnifying glass indicates View access, whereas the pencil indicates Edit access. The participant matrix is an at-a-glance view of all participants enrolled at your site. This is the home screen for research coordinators. This is also where you add a new participant and create an ID number. There are 2 ways to add a new participant. Clicking on either of these links will take you to this prompt. IDs are auto-generated. All you need to do is click on the Add button. The participant shell has now been created. This is where you will see the participant ID assigned. Now it is time to add your visits, also referred to as events. Click on the Add New button. Choose an option from the Study Event Definition drop-down list. To add additional events at the same time, click on the Schedule Another Event link and again choose an option. You can add up to 5 at one time. Additionally, you can enter in the start date associated with each event. When finished, click Proceed to enter data. This is what it looks like for one participant. If you need to schedule more events, you would click on the Add New button again. The forms associated with each event are listed. During study-specific training, we will take a closer look at each form. Here are some useful things to know. The number in the parentheses indicates the event is a repeating event and can be created more than once. This number is the occurrence of the event. So if you need to complete an event 4 times, you will schedule it 4 times and each time it will be assigned the next sequential number. You can sort your events by clicking on any of the event headers. Start date can be particularly useful to order chronologically. If you did not include the date upon initial creation of the event, you can click on the Edit pencil here and update it accordingly. There may also be common events in your study. They will already be present upon adding a new participant. They are at the bottom. Click on the triangle to open it and to add a new entry. Note there is a scroll bar at the bottom of the table. Let's go over some general formats and features. Date fields are entered as a 4-number year, 2-number month, and 2-number day. This is a default setting and not currently changeable. The easiest and most accurate way to enter a date is to use the calendar function. Click in the date field and a calendar comes up. Using the arrows, pick the correct month and year and click on the day. Time fields must be entered in a 24-hour clock format. that is 0000 to 2359. Most fields are required and are designated with a red asterisk. The query bubble we will address in a little bit. Data is autosaved as you enter it on the form. Within the form, you have the option to close the form or mark the form complete. Choose Close if you have not finished your data entry. Marking the form complete triggers edit checks to run, and if there are any discrepancies on the form, an error message will display. If a form is not required for a participant, do not complete it. If you inadvertently save data on a form that is not required, please contact the Clinical Data Manager to request the form to be deleted. Email is acceptable. Include the participant ID, form name and occurrence if applicable, along with the reason you are requesting the deletion, and he or she will delete it for you. Forms that contain repeating question groups or logs allow you to enter additional sets of questions as you need them. You will know a form contains a repeating question group because there will be instructions for how to add multiple sets by clicking the plus sign button. If you add too many question groups, simply click the minus sign button on the right-hand side of the question group. Branching logic has been incorporated so you will only see relevant questions based on the response provided to a previous question. For example, if the participant was not randomized, a list of reasons is available. If other is chosen, an additional open text field is provided to specify the other choice. However, if this participant had been randomized and yes had been selected, you would be prompted for the randomization number and a date and time instead. Options with a radio button are single select. If you have clicked on a radio button in error, you can deselect it simply by clicking on it again. This applies to questions with branching logic as well. You must deselect entries in a choice set prior to changing the lead question. For example, if a no option had been selected and a subsequent choice selected, if the lead question is changed directly to yes, you will receive an alert reminding you. Simply deselect the sub-option and the correct set of questions associated with the yes response appear. Checkboxes are multi-select, so check as many as apply. They can also be deselected by clicking on them again. Upload fields display a message in gray stating, "Click here to upload file." Click in the box and a file upload screen will appear so you can select the appropriate file. Remember, when uploading a file, it must be less than 95 megabytes. Include the study participant ID on the first page of the upload. Query management will take place using two systems. Real-time checks in OpenClinica for things like missing data, out-of-range values, and date and time formats. Query Manager is a separate tool created by the Data Coordinating Center and has greater functionality. It will be used to generate queries for duplicate or inconsistent data, cross-form checks, manual review of free text fields and uploads, and expected data within specified time frames. First, let's talk about OpenClinica. If you try to save a form when required data is missing or a value is outside of an expected range, you will see this alert. This happens because there is a violation for one of the built-in data checks. You will not be able to complete the form until these alerts are addressed. However, you can close a form at any time. Remember, all data is saved upon entry. There are two ways to address an alert. As mentioned, enter the missing data or correct errant entries. Sometimes, though, fields are truly missing, or the out-of-range value is correct as entered. In these circumstances, you must add a query. So let's walk through how to do this. Click the query bubble in the top right corner of the data field. Each data field has one. Enter a description in the comment field indicating the reason for the discrepancy. Reminder, do not enter PHI in this field. Skip the Assign To and Email fields. You do not need to assign them. Click Submit. Entries will be reviewed by the Clinical Data Manager, Monitor, Project Manager, and/or Medical Reviewer. If the response is sufficient and there are no further questions, it will be manually resolved. If there are additional questions about the query, it will be updated with a new comment and assigned back to you for review. What the query bubble is not. It is not a place to address a query issued in Query Manager or a place to enter reasons that a field has been changed or updated. This is not the proper location for extraneous information regarding the participant's enrollment. In Open Clinica, please enter only the information you are asked for. Additional details or comments should be noted in a note to file or other form of note management outside of the EDC. Information located here is not viewed by stats or used for analysis. There is another way that queries can be created. If you have one or more fields on a form that create an alert, if you choose to mark the form complete, you will be given an option to proceed, and an automatic query will be created individually for each of them. If a query is assigned to you, you will receive an email notification. Do not respond to the email about the query. It is for notification purposes only. It does include some identifying details about the query. You can click on the link and it will take you to the Open Clinica login screen. You can then log in and go to the Queries screen. Note, to see queries, you must have JavaScript enabled and pop-up blockers disabled. Within Open Clinica, you can view all of your queries for all of your participants in either the Queries menu or within the Tasks menu and click on Queries. There are several sort and filter options that can be used to find a specific query or group of queries. You can look by participant ID, by a specific status. You'll most likely want to choose New or Updated depending on the situation. You can also use the Assigned User option to find all queries assigned to you by entering your username in the gray box under the Menu option. Once you've found the query in the list, under Actions, clicking the magnifying glass will take you to a view-only screen with only the question on the form associated with the query, whereas the View Query Within Record button takes you to the question on the full form. Here is a tip. If you can't remember which one of these is which, you can hover over the icon for a description. This represents the different views. View Only shows the field only, or View Query Within Record takes you to the question on the full form. From here you can click on the questions to enter the response, reassign it if needed, and click Update. Regardless of how you view the query, the steps to address it are the same. We continue the cycle until the query can be closed. You can also see the history of the field here as well. When to document a reason for change. This is required if a form has been marked complete and data are modified later. Each time this occurs, you will see the following prompt. You can enter a specific reason for each individual change, or if there are multiple changes for the same reason, you can enter the explanation once and click on the Apply to All box. Once entered, you can close the form. Entering a reason for change does not generate a query. It saves the information with the audit trail. When all events for a participant are complete and no outstanding queries exist, a signature stamp is present at the end of the participant row. The PI must log in and click the signature stamp. The attestation and e-signature prompt displays. The PI will enter his or her username and password and click Submit. All events with a status of complete, stopped, or skipped for that participant are signed. So, what if a change is made after the PI signs the participant's complete record? Any changes to a signed event or participant record automatically prompts for a reason for change, removes the signature, and sets the status back to completed. Re-signing is required at this point. So let's talk a little about Query Manager, our external query tool. If one or more queries are issued to your site, you will receive an email notification. The link is included in the email. Log in to Query Manager to review and address the outstanding query. There is a separate Moodle for in-depth training on this tool. Please view it separately. And just a reminder, queries are inevitable. Queries are not a punishment. They are a tool to achieve high-quality data. Complete, accurate data entry is key. SharePoint is our online report portal available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and is updated daily. Here is the link. If you need to set or reset your password, click on the following link and follow the instructions provided. Once you have logged into SharePoint, follow these steps to view study reports. Click the menu option for the desired network along the top menu and the study in the left margin. Under the study, click the Reports hyperlink on the left side of the page. Click on the hyperlink of the desired report. Most reports have filters available and are located in the Parameters section on the right-hand side of the report. Set the desired filters and click the Apply button near the very bottom right-hand side of the page. And a couple of reminders. Keep your account credentials secure, and if you have trouble with your account, contact the Clinical Data Manager for assistance. Thank you for taking the time to view this training. Please take the short quiz and print your certificate of completion.